see this is a chance for Kansas women, local women, to be given a chance in Division I athletics to push themselves really hard, because it's not an easy sport, to actually work hard and learn the ethics of working hard athletically. And I see it as an opportunity for women to do something. We're recruiting 90–95% from the state of Kansas itself. Then out of state mainly is from just the other side of the border of Kansas City. So really pseudo Kansas kids. And primarily from women who haven't rowed before, who are basketball players, volleyball players, swimmers, track and field, soccer, whatever.
I was recruited out of high school. I don't remember, I know the first thing I remember was getting a phone call. I was just randomly at home. I got a phone call from Coach Granberry asking if I wanted to come up for a recruiting visit, and she told me about all the fun stuff that we would get to do. So I came up for that and just loved it.
I got one of the flyers that Grace sent out in the mail to all the incoming girls, basically, that just said, hey, if you're short, try out. If you're tall, try out. Kind of gave you a little specification on height and weight.
Where that's different is that, like I said, 99% of the women haven't rowed before.
The redshirt program is a really great program because, you know, you haven't ever rowed before, and it does teach you a whole year of getting your skills, trying to, you know, you're trying to get caught up in a year what everybody else has done in 5 years and that have been doing forever. It's really nice to have older girls that can teach the younger girls, because I know, you know, you're pretty unsure of yourself when you're first starting racing and stuff, and they have a lot of good tips that you can listen to, and I really enjoy the teaching aspect of it. I don't think that a lot of schools do it our way, because a lot of programs can bring in people that have rowed before. I mean, when we go places, they say, you're from Kansas, you don't have any water, where do you row?
I think it's better publicity that you're actually recruiting within your state. It's a lot of women who actually come from the state of Kansas and not from Croatia or Australia or somewhere else, that they're actually funding their own kids, American kids, and then not only American kids, but Kansas kids. Their dollar is staying in Kansas and not going out of the country or out of state.
The workouts are pretty intense. I mean, some days are worse than others.
There's always a few of us who don't want to do it or like, get me out of here, but I think that mentality is what makes us really respect what we do at the end of the day, because you never walk into a workout like, yes, I'm so excited, but then when you leave, you're like, yes, I just did that.
We tried to keep practices on a time limit of 1 hour, and we tried to keep it varied. The first year, not too difficult. As we said, bringing women in who haven't done it before, it can be a shock to the system. But then gradually, as they become more experienced, we try to step it up, and they become more and more intense as the years go on, and hopefully the athlete develops.
The weights workouts are generally the same. You know, we work like our quads and all that stuff, and the circuits, that's a new innovation to rowing right now.
When the water freezes over, it seems like forever. You know, we have about 2 months of it in here, whereas other teams, if they're on the ergs more than a week and a half, they're complaining to their coaches, and we can't do anything about it because our water is frozen. And here, with the rowing machines, I fall off the ergs, lay on the ground for about 5 minutes, and then you have to get up and go again. So they're not very fun, but it's a really great feeling after you're done. After you're done, definitely. Not during. But when you're done and you're like, man, I just did that hard workout.
Ultimately, it always comes down to just trying to work harder than the girl next to you, but knowing that she's working hard for you and with you.
The girls in my boat need me just as much as I need them, and that really motivates me to be the best I can all the time.
I think rowing is the most togetherness sport that I've ever been in. You can't not do rowing without everyone else. Like in basketball, you could work on your skills on your own, you could improve on your own. Like with rowing, it's all together. Like you can't do it any other way.
If you take 8 pencils, you take individual pencil, you snap it. You put 8 pencils together, you can't bend it. And they really do work as a unit together. Let's take an 8, and we talk about it when we're coaching. When it's 8 individuals doing this, it's not anywhere near as fast as 8 people doing this together.
When you think team sport, you think football, basketball, you know, the American type things. But rowing, you have to be so together and so in sync with one another that it's just incredible that you virtually become one person if you're good enough to be at that level. And so it's just really awesome.
I've learned a lot about myself and what I can do and how far I can go. And I've really learned what my team means to me. I don't think that ever before I really understood how important your team can be to you until I got in a boat with them and I knew that they were going through the same pain that I was going through. So I'd say, but overall, I would have to say that what's unified us as individuals and as a team is that together we've learned from rowing that we can go further and harder than we ever thought we ever could.